Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/usingyourpower. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Thanks for joining us at Using Your Power. My name is Maveen Cora.
And I'm David Angeweeb.
Hey, David, what's going on today?
We're going to take a look at why you need to engage with your social media followers. Where did this topic idea come from?
Well, this idea came from the fact that, there's so many people on so many different platforms out there, and I don't know exactly why we've decided to go on there. Is it because you just want to share your photos and get likes, or is it because you really want to start building a brand? And, because we're talking more about marketing right now in the last little while, the idea of this show is really to understand the idea behind social media and how you can use that to not only maybe build your brand and awareness, or, maybe that's not your goal, but at least you can have maybe you might meet somebody overseas that might be able to help you with your personal problems if that's exactly what your social what your platform on social media is about.
I think those are some great things to think about. The number one reason why you might want to post to social media and engage with your followers is to stay top of mind with them. I mean, the more you post, the more you comment on other people's stuff, the more you like and share other people's stuff or reblog or whatever it is, depending on the social media platform, the more people are just going to see your name pop up, your brand pop up, and they'll begin to go, oh yeah, I remember seeing this guy. Maybe I should check out his stuff. I'm kind of seeing him everywhere right now. And that's kind of what begins to happen when you do take the time to engage on social media. It takes effort though.
Absolutely. And that's the idea of what we've been doing. I know I post quite a bit on Facebook, on Twitter, and Instagram as well, and it's one to let my friends know what I'm doing, because that's where we're kind of starting with. Hey, you know what? This is what I'm up to. I'm writing more nowadays. I'm recording these shows with yourself, David, and it's just really let people know, hey, this is what I'm up to. If you like what I'm up to, take a listen to it, and if you enjoy it, let me know, and if you don't enjoy it, hey, let me know, because I'm going to continue doing that anyways, because I just really enjoy this process right now. And if down the road this is not paying, then we may look at something a little different. But right now, this has been a really excellent way to continue to do it. And I think it will be a project that we'll continue to do probably forever.
Yeah, that's great. Oh,
it's your turn.
My turn. Okay. That was your point. Good. It segued too nicely that I just thought it was something else.
It was just too perfect.
Yeah, it was too perfect. Okay. Well, social media is where people are. Facebook is a lot of people's home on the web. Now, I heard somebody this weekend say it's not about websites, it's about apps. And I thought, no, I don't think that is true, because based on the numbers, people don't download apps that much. They do spend a little bit of daily time on average within apps, and I understand that, but those may have just come installed with their phone, such as Facebook, and they're just spending their time there. So, I don't think websites are irrelevant at all. And in fact, I think websites may very well be the future of apps because of HTML5 and the ability to make such great websites that can also transfer over to the mobile dimension very, very well. So I don't think websites are irrelevant at all, but it's just important to realize that, yes, people are progressively using Google, Facebook, and maybe Reddit as their home on the web, and not being there could be a problem.
Absolutely. And more, I think Google is giving priority to mobile devices. Correct me if I'm wrong, David.
Yeah, it seems that way big time.
Absolutely. So, one of the things I was thinking about too is it's actually, if you're engaging with your social media following, especially if you're a business, it's actually easier to market to them. It's actually a lot easier than to sell to them, versus if you were having to go out and hire somebody to do a whole bunch of cold calling.
Yeah, that's true.
When you're sitting at your desk, having to do cold calling, it can cost a lot of money, because you have to kind of research and figure out who this company is you're going to be calling. You may get stopped by the gatekeeper, which is a receptionist, and many times, and they may not allow you to talk to the person that you need to talk to. They might say, hey, leave the message with me, we'll relay that, and you never hear back from the person you're trying to get a hold of. But if you go onto websites like or even apps like LinkedIn, for example, you can find the people that you're looking to talk to right on there and engage with them right there and talk to them, build that relationship right on social media, and then talk to them and market market to them and find ways to sell to them. Eventually, by that time, you'll probably already had a phone call by then, but it's a great way to at least start the segue.
I was writing a blog post for a client today on social media and PR and how the two can work together, but it's really the same thing, right? You can use social media to go and connect with media people and journalists and people who are talking about the subject, or even columnists in your particular niche, and get them to cover your story potentially by building that relationship. So yeah, it's the same thing. Another point is, it helps you understand where people are coming from in terms of the mindset that they have and the questions that they have for you, as well as the mental blocks that they have. And that's especially something I think about as a marketer, as I interact with people on Facebook. Like, where are they getting stuck? Where are they getting caught? How do they think? How are they perceiving the world? And something I've realized too about musicians is they may not necessarily be looking to change the way things are. They complain about the way things are, but they're not proactively looking to change their mindset and change the way they do their career to make more money. So those are just some things that I observe about my particular niche and segment sometimes. And it's just good to be aware of where people are on that spectrum of like complete beginner, not even aware of what the music industry is, to like completely cynical and not really, doing anything about the situation to try to change it.
Right on. I know, great thing, right? And I think that kind of works with what I'm trying to say here too. One of the things I think before you get on social media is really understand why you're using that social media platform as well in the first place, because there's so many different ones, and we can all be on all of the different ones out there, and you can really end up wasting a lot of time on those different social media platforms if you don't know why you're on there, right? And I think if we all go back to the basic human understanding is, when you're on social media and you're going to be engaging, and the reason for it is because all of us want human contact. We really want something from the other person, right? Either if it's a like, a share, a comment, something, right? Or maybe saying, hey man, your hair looks really nice today, or that was a pretty dress, or, man, you look shredded in that picture, or you seem to be lifting a lot, because a lot of people are posting about fashion and working out lately. It's kind of what I see. Or, hey, that was a nice tattoo that you tattooed, or whatever, right? So, a lot of people just want that genuine, hey, you're doing a great job, continue to do what you're doing. And social media really allows that to be a platform out there, considering, more and more people don't seem to be having real human contact anymore. So finding ways to engage on social media where you can actually have a real conversation, a real human contact, can be a great way.
Yeah, so important, because we don't want anybody listening to this to end up wasting all their time on social media. In fact, I'm doing sort of an audit of everything that I'm doing with my website. And, you get some traffic from social media, but for me, it's not just about traffic. It's about results and sales and making new connections. And so is it doing that? Is it serving that purpose? And it may not be, but, that's why it's valuable to have tools like Meet Edgar, which let you automate a good chunk of it, and that way it just kind of keeps happening on autopilot. You just keep adding to your library, so there's fresh stuff and new stuff and interesting stuff for your followers, and then you just go in and comment on things as you begin to see notifications. Another thing that social media allows for, especially from this marketing perspective, is to diversify your traffic sources. I don't think we want to become single source dependent. Nobody should become completely just like, yeah, I get all my traffic from SEO and content. That's great that the search engines love you and that you're getting so much love from them. But if you become dependent on that, we all know what can happen. Google will change their algorithm. Like you said, Mav, Google's prioritizing mobile over other stuff these days. If your site's not set up for mobile and you have no easy way of adapting that, chances are if you're on WordPress, you're all good. But if you might be on an old platform, that makes it really hard for you to adjust your website to a proper mobilely optimized site, then, that's gone. So as James Franco says, we learned this from him. Don't be single source dependent on anything.
Absolutely right. It goes right back to the simple concept a lot of people have already heard. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's, I think, exactly what you're saying right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Social followers will help promote your content. I think that's great, right? I know myself and David here, we're out, constantly sitting at our computers, not constantly, like every day, like 24 hours a day, nothing like that. But when we do sit down to work, we are sitting at our computers. We are trying to put some really good content together, just like we're doing in this podcast as well, right? Yeah. And, the idea is we want to spread the message, right? We want to spread the message of music, entrepreneurship, or business in that direction. I want to, on Discover Your Life today, we're looking to spread the message of empowering people and helping helping people understand that they can change their lives, and exactly what we're doing on using your power as well, right? Saying, in business, in marketing, in finance, in personal life, you can change your life as well. So that's kind of what we're doing there, because we want people to understand that when you follow us and then you share the content that we're putting out there, not only are you giving us your stamp of approval, you're also letting other people know that there's help out there that they can also benefit from. So, sharing good content out there can, help other people. So go out there and share other people's content that you find valuable, and then encourage other people to share yours as well.
Yeah, and Steve Pavlina found that a lot of people were sharing his stuff on social media without ever him lifting a finger to do much of that at all, which kind of leads into my point, which is that it's possible. I mean, despite everything that we said, all the positives, all the benefits, everything that's great about social media, you may not need social media, in which case you're not going to be engaging your social media followers or, people that way. You may use email marketing. You may use your blog. You may use other platforms to talk to those people, engage with those people. I think, Steve Pavlina even said, I'm not going to be on Facebook and Twitter anymore. And for some people, that is the right choice, and not getting so distracted and doing so many things and, taking away focus from the difference that you can make in the world is important. I think for what we're doing, especially with the Music Entrepreneur and Discover Your Life Today, it is important to have that social media element just to build that awareness, build our audience, create a connection with those people. But in some cases, maybe it's not the best choice and you're just going to get distracted and not get anything done.
Yeah, and your point goes right into mine, David, exactly, perfectly well.
Nice.
So, companies like Nike, for example, and huge companies, they're all on social media for a reason, right? Because they all want to continue to build their brand. They want to continue to build a community around them and their company and their products, right? So, best way they're able to do that is, engage with people on social media or have people follow them on social media, because who doesn't want to know when the next new Nike shoe comes out, because Nike will post it on their Instagram or on their Facebook, or whatnot, right? And McDonald's is on social media, although you might say, hey, I don't need to follow McDonald's, but the same thing, right? TV is also an interesting way to look at social media as well, because it is engaging with millions and millions and potentially billions of people around the world in a slightly different way, through TV commercials, and everything you see these days has, every commercial has a Twitter, an Instagram or Facebook. Everybody has it. So everybody's understanding that there is a power behind the brand and being available to the public, right? I think that's the idea of it. And when you're available to the public, you really are able to build that community, and you get like-minded people coming together and enjoying the same type of products and talking good about the company, or in this case, they may be talking good about you because you might be that same company out there.
Yeah, those are definitely some major benefits of social media, and I love that. And I think it just lends more credibility to you. People begin to trust you more as they see others give you good testimonials or just engage with you. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's safe for me to engage with them too. Whereas, you come across a page where nobody's liked or commented or shared or anything, and you go, should I be commenting on this right now?
Right, exactly, right. Sometimes you're right, David. You see people that if people haven't commented, most likely other people may not comment. Sometimes it does take that first person to go ahead and make a comment before the floodgate opens and everybody starts, commenting in there. And sometimes, and something I'm going to go actually do myself is go in and make comments on every one of my articles, because sometimes you have to be the one that opens a floodgate, because you can't rely on other people to do it.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And it's something I did for a little bit too. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Wow. Social media is a very interesting animal, I think, get out there, definitely, comment on people's things, like people's things. You are following people, either your friends or people you don't know, for a reason, right? So, when you leave them a comment, you're also continually inspire them. So we've talked about that in a previous episode. I think about 2 episodes ago, we talked about inspiring people, not only at work, but that sometimes is in their work, you're inspiring them. So, do that, I think is going to be amazing. Now, if you're on Instagram and you keep getting hearts and 100%,
thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. You may want to stay away from those people. I've had people say, hey man, check out my website. You may like my clothing apparel. So I went and checked out their website. I said, I know they wrote that to 1 million people out there, but I said, I'm going to go check them out. And what I did was I messaged them back, say, hey, I really like your clothing apparel line. And, how about you send me a shirt and I'll be happy to market it for you, because I'm a marketer. And, it's a great way to get a free shirt. Why not, right?
Yeah.
But no engagement, never said anything back, not a, hey, thank you, or, would you mind paying shipping and handling, nothing like that, right? So really find out. I already knew where the answer was going to be, but I really want to see who are the real marketers out there, who are the real business people out there, and who are the people who are really willing to market with their people.
Well, that's a great message, because that's what not to do on social media. Don't just put questions out there and not respond to the comments that you get. Don't just put blanket statements out there on Instagram saying, hey, we got this offer for you. Come and check out my page. And then you can't deliver on it. I mean, don't do that, right? Just don't do that just for visibility, because visibility isn't going to stick around. I mean, that's going to be very, very short-sighted thinking, right? You might get people landing on your page for a second and then leave and never want to come back again and never want to interact with you again. So that doesn't work. Try to be mindful of what people want from you, what they're looking for, how to respond to them, commenting on anything that they comment, at least, respond to the first commenter so people know that you're still there and still engage with them. And just following those basic guidelines will get you a lot further than what most people are trying to do, which is try to shortcut their way to success, which doesn't work.
That's right. It doesn't work. So no, a good summary there, David.
All right. So find us at usingyourpower.com. Leave a comment, leave a message, download our free audio course. You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever else you listen to podcasts. Feel free to leave a rating or a comment there if they allow it. And I think most cases they do.
Have a great day.